Come get some.
Well, I think Colony defined a lot of what we think of in terms of first-person shooters. It's a world. There are a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to discover. There's a lot of problems that you have to fix. You had different challenges, puzzles. I have to make it rich enough and interesting enough. And also I had to tell a story. That's one of the reasons Tom Clancy got in touch with me.
Tom Clancy was an investor in Virtus. He'd played a game that David had made and really liked it. And so David and Tom came up with the idea of that Tom would provide some IP and they would make a game about it.
Colony is the first time he'd ever experienced a story in a game versus just playing Pong or something.
The first trial run we did was the game called SSN. It was a submarine simulator. It was done in conjunction with a Tom Clancy book called SSN. It was kind of like the dry run. A lot of the SSN team wound up being the core team that developed Rainbow Six. And so once SSN was a moderate success, they're like, oh, okay, we shouldn't continue making games inside this little 3D tool company, which Virtus was at the time. We should spin out a separate company, and that was going to be Redstorm.
Tom started introducing me to some of his friends, and one of the groups he introduced me to was the FBI hostage rescue team in Quantico. So I got to know them a bit, and they took me to one of their training facilities, and they were going to have a live training session. I'd never seen anything like that. Black helicopters that fly over these buildings, all dressed in black ninjas, who rappel down onto the top of the building, and they start blowing shit up.
It's an organization with the resources and the authority to fight terrorism wherever it flourishes.
So I called Tom up. You know, we got to do this. This is the most amazing thing. We have to do a game. He said, I like that, but I don't want to do it that. I don't want the hostage rescue team. I want an international force.
It would be composed of the best and brightest counterterrorism experts from every country.
And he said, and if you do the game, I'll do the book.
It would operate in absolute secrecy, its existence known only to the most senior government officials. Its code name is Rainbow.
The Tom Clancy games were interesting in that they were first person, but the pace was like very slow and methodical.
I wanted an FPS that I could win at. I was 30 years old at the time, and so my twitch reflexes were not as good as they'd been. It's like I couldn't beat the 18-year-olds, but I felt like I had like a lot of tactical knowledge, and it's like I want a game that rewards a player like me. It rewards somebody who like actually thinks and plans and gets the drop on somebody.
So that's where Rainbow Six came from. It was literally that phone call. We got the green light, we formed Redstorm Entertainment, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best game ever.
You knew when you signed on with this crew, there wouldn't be any parades or medal ceremonies. But I want you to know that you deserve all that and more. It's been an honor working with you. Okay, enough of that. Clock out.
Come get some.